2004, and I am standing in a dimly lit basement next to a boy named Matt. And Matt is, I don't know, like 5'7", bleach blonde, frosted tips, because we had terrible fashion sense in 2004. And he is talking about how attractive our friend Megan is. And I'm not gonna lie to you, Megan is hot. Megan is really hot. And she is not the only person at the party who is attractive. Because Leah is attractive, and Ashley's attractive, and Jasmine's attractive, and Jamie's attractive. And then there's me, who was seriously overweight with giant glasses and a pretty questionable sense of style. And I'm standing there just minding my own business when Matt is describing to Jacob how attractive in ridiculous detail everyone else in the room is. When he turns and he looks at me and he says, "Yeah, but you know, every group has to have the ugly friend." That was me. The ugly friend. It was an offhanded comment made by a boy with bleach blonde frosted tips who much later in life lost his mind in a very real way. It should have been an insignificant comment left to rot in 2004. But it wasn't. Because sometimes people say mean things about us, and we believe them. Self-esteem. It's the way we carry ourselves. It's the way we walk into a room. It's the way that others perceive us. And self-esteem, whether we feel good or bad about ourselves, has to do simply with stories. Self-esteem boils down to stories. It's the stories that we tell ourselves about who we are, and it's the stories that we tell other people about who we are and how to treat us and what we think we deserve. So I'm here today to talk to you about some of the stories that I was telling about who I was, how that affected my reality, how that affected what I thought I deserved, and most importantly, how I was able to rewrite some of those stories. And my hope, my genuine hope, is that maybe, just maybe, one person in this room is going to be able to walk away with a different story than you walked in with. So when this boy said that I was the ugly friend, my initial response was, of course, to cry in the bathroom for the rest of the party. But my secondary response was to be like, whatever, that guy's a douche nozzle. I don't care. Douche nozzle. We need to bring that back in the population. Should have left that one in 2004 too. That guy's a douche nozzle. Whatever. I don't care. I'm amazing. It's done. And it was over. I grew up into a fairly confident, self-assured adult who thinks she has a decent body that men want to see naked. Except it wasn't over. Because that day, he planted the seed of a hurt plant that I subconsciously, unknowingly watered. And it was so deeply buried that I didn't even know that it was there until 10 years later, I was weeping helplessly during a teenage movie called The Duff. Anybody see The Duff? Duff stands for Designated Ugly Fat Friend. And the fact that this word exists at all is proof that we as humanity still have a little growing up to do. I was so compelled to see this movie that I went to the movie theater by myself. And when the movie was over, I sat and I cried quietly. And when everybody left, I cried loudly. And then I went into the bathroom. And I cried until my whole body was shaking and I couldn't cry anymore. Because that stupid, dumb teen movie resonated on such an unfair level. And it resonated because I realized for the first time ever that I believed that I was the ugly friend. And even worse than that, I had acted like someone who believed that they were the ugly friend. Because when I was watching that movie, some of the things that came up for me were memories like this. I remembered 5 years after that a very swanky bar, sitting on a very swanky couch with my beautiful friends, who, it's worth noting, are also smart and funny and lovely and charming. And we were approached by a group of 4 men. There were 5 women, 4 men. Now, I'll be honest with you, math is not my strength. I'm not very good at math. I deal in words. But listen, even I know that is uneven. Yeah, 5 ladies, 4 gents. So there's a man sitting across from me and my beautiful friend Megan, and I distinctly remember thinking, he probably wishes he was just talking to her. And I got up and I went to the bathroom because I thought, why would he want to be talking to someone like me? I remembered when I first moved to New York City, I had a very strict rule that I wouldn't date anybody who hit on my beautiful roommate Lindsay first. She was gorgeous, so she got hit on all the time. On the night that I met Darren, he so intentionally hit on me and so intentionally ignored her that 2 years after we broke up, I was out enjoying some adult beverages, and I texted him, "Thank you for never hitting on Lindsay." 2 years later. That's how important those words had become to me. And when I realized this, I sat in the movie theater bathroom and I felt so sad for the 18-year-old girl who had listened to the words of the 18-year-old boy with bleach blonde, frosted tips, who much later in life lost his mind in a very real way and agreed with him. And I realized that it wasn't the first or last time where I felt like I wasn't enough. Where I felt like I wasn't desirable, I wasn't pretty enough, or thin enough, or tall enough, or just enough. But the good news is, with self-awareness comes change. When you figure out what the story is that you're telling about yourself, you can start to change it. See, I didn't know the story that I was telling about myself, to myself and to other people. But when you know what the story is, you can start to change it. So we're going to do a little bit of an exercise, because today is not just about me. Like MK said, it's 100% about you and what you take away from this. So everybody should have 2 note cards. Does everybody have 2 note cards? If you don't have 2 note cards, raise your hand and someone will come around and deliver your note cards to you. Those of you who already have your note cards, keep your hands raised if you don't. For those of you who already have your note cards, on the first note card, and this is going to be intense, and I feel great about that. I feel really good about that. I want you to write everything you don't like about yourself. We're going to do this for 1 minute and 30 seconds. And I want to be clear, no one is going to see this but you. This is for no one but you. If you're sitting next to someone who's peeping on your card, cover it with your hand, because this is meant to be for nobody but you. I'm not going to see this, okay? For 1 minute and 30 seconds, I'm going to turn on the timer. And this can be anything. Anything you don't like about yourself. I'm too short. I need to lose 15 pounds. I have a lot of debt. I forgot my best friend's birthday. These are just examples. They could be your truth. They could be my truth. Okay, I want you to fold that card in half. Everybody fold that card in half. And now on the other card, I want you to write everything that is just amazing about you. Everything your best friend would say about you. If you need a card, raise your hand. Everything your mom would say about you. And I want you to be really petty here. So you can say, like, I have really nice hair. I like my butt. I have straight teeth. I'm really smart. I'm the top student in my class. I'm a really amazing programmer. I wrote some code today that was really freaking hard. I'm a good friend. I'm a thoughtful person. I care about my dog. Okay, and I want you to fold that card in half and shuffle up your cards, but make sure you know which one is which. And I want you to hold up the card that you lead with when you walk into a party with your best friends. So what's going through your brain when you walk into a party with your best friends? Hold up that card. It can be one or both. It can be both. This is for no one but you. When you walk into a party with people you don't know. Hold up the card for when you walk into a party with people you don't know. When you're on a first date. When you want to ask someone out. When you walked into the hackathon this morning. It's for no one but you. When you're at the hackathon in the afternoon. Maybe it changed for you, maybe it didn't. When you're out with your parents. This is always an interesting one because you see people be like, When you're out with your parents, what's the story going through your head? When you have a high-stakes presentation. When you have a job interview. You're applying for an internship. You're just kicking it with your siblings. Okay. This is for nobody but you. For you to know what the story is that you're telling yourself when you walk in the room. Now I want everybody to take your negative note card, and I want you to just hold it like this, and you're just going to fold it like this. And put it in your hand. So put it in your hand like a little tent like this. And I want you to just, everybody, you're just going to crush it into a tiny little ball. I mean that because this doesn't have to be your story anymore. You don't have to walk in the room carrying around that crap. That doesn't be what you have to lead with when you walk into a hackathon or on a date or you're asking someone out or you're applying for an internship. Leave it here. Can everybody promise me on the way out you're going to throw it in the garbage, let it go, and leave it here? You can rewrite your story. You can rewrite your story. And that is exactly what I had to do. I remember the first time I did this exercise, I was standing in my kitchen and I was clinging to my positive card, clinging to it. And I just kept repeating, I am not the ugly friend. I am not the ugly friend. I am beautiful inside and out. Said it again with more conviction. I am not the ugly friend. I am beautiful inside and out. I am not the ugly friend. And again, I am beautiful inside and out. 6 times more, 7 times more, 8 times more, and again, I am beautiful inside and out. I am not the ugly friend. I am not the ugly friend. I am beautiful inside and out, and again, and I said it like my life depended on it, and it probably did. I probably needed to believe that to go on and become a whole, loved human being. And again, I am beautiful inside and out. I am not the ugly friend. I am beautiful inside and out, and again, until I became someone who believed she was beautiful inside and out, until I became someone who acted like they believed that they were beautiful inside and out. And that is exactly what I hope for you. Whatever you wrote on this card doesn't have to be your story anymore. Rewrite your story. Thank you.